Joining us to talk about it, we have two experts with us. Seth Kaplan's with us with Airline Weekly. Also with us, Brett Larson, CNN technology analyst. Let's start with you, Seth. Tell us, what makes them say, what do you think added up to tell these family members and friends their loved ones are gone?
Yeah, Mike, it's almost like putting together a puzzle. At a certain point, you're still missing a lot of pieces, but you have enough pieces in place that you kind of know what you're looking at, and that's what's happened here. We don't know all the details yet about this Inmarsat data, but essentially Inmarsat, a company that has satellites everywhere, used for things like just transmitting HLN, for example. But in this case, they had enough information that working with British investigators, they felt comfortable saying that, yes, this aircraft went down somewhere in that region, somewhere in the southern Indian Ocean.
Seth, let me stay with you. Let me read a tweet from Betsy, and there's a lot of people tweeting this out there. And here it is. Evidence seems a bit inconclusive to make an official announcement about Flight 370. I won't be satisfied till they release pics of wreckage. And Seth, that's what people want. They want to see, a floating piece of wreckage. Are you satisfied, Seth? Let me ask you, or do you still have questions?
Yeah, Betsy, you certainly can't blame those families for feeling this way, can you? Holding on to hope, any hope, even a prayer that something would have gone differently, that their family members could turn up alive. Mike, I think you and I would do the same. But in this situation, yeah, it was already really stretching the bounds of realistic possibilities to think that there was any other scenario, that these people were somehow alive somewhere. And now, as we fill in, as I said, those pieces of the puzzle, it's become ever more clear that this plane did indeed crash. Still a lot of questions, to your question to me, a lot of questions about what exactly happened. We are a long way from finding out the answers to that.
Brett, let me ask you, the way it's been described, it's new analysis of satellite images. Right. What are they looking at? How do they look at satellite images to come to this grave conclusion?
It's sad that it took them this long to come to a conclusion like this, but I think we're looking at some pretty extraordinary circumstances here. They're making use of these satellites to try and not only find the wreckage, but also that Inmarsat information that was coming back to them isn't something that is designed to track an airplane's location. It's more designed as a communications protocol that just happened to have this side ability that required as they said this morning, it required a different bit of math and this whole different way of working with the data that was coming off of that kept it. Remember, they originally told us about that double arc, that it could have gone this way or that way, because that's how those satellites work. And I think what's sad about this is that it took so long. What's interesting about this is to see how much technology has jumped in here to try and find the missing wreckage, to try and find this airplane, to try and get answers about this missing airplane.
Right. And technology's your game, Brett. Are you satisfied with this finding? And again, it's a sad one because at our core we want to say, wait a minute, these folks could still be alive. But what are your thoughts as a technology guy?
You do want to say that, and I will admit I held out hope there for a while. I saw all the theories about where this airplane could be, potentially may have happened, and I wanted for those families to have that as the conclusion and not what we found out today. For technology, it's a sad day for technology because it has kind of failed us, and it's failed us in a pretty drastic way, and I think made more so drastic by the fact that we're all so used to everything working so quickly. My cell phone knows where I am. If I post a tweet right now, it's going to tell the entire world I am right here in New York City. But yet we lost a 777, and that's such a confusing concept for people in this day and age. And I think it really begs the question that for our aviation system worldwide, not just here in the U.S., we need a major technical overhaul to prevent this kind of thing from ever happening again.
Brett, that's such a great point, because so many had voiced on Twitter, Facebook, how can everybody know where my iPhone is, but we've lost a 777? Have you re-articulated that again? And again, on a very sad day. Brett, good talking to you. Seth, we'll be chatting with you again in just a little bit.